The first discordant note shattered Lycera's world at the crescendo of her Viridian Symphony, the masterpiece that took a decade to compose. Her protégé, Silas Thorne, bowed deeply to thunderous applause while armed luminaires dragged her off stage. His whispered accusation, plagiarist, echoing louder than the standing ovation. 5 years later, hidden in the sonic hell of the shattered choir's caverns, Lycera tuned her resonance crystal violin. Tonight, she wouldn't just reclaim her stolen symphony, she'd make Silas conduct his own ruin. Lycera Thalir wasn't just a composer, she was Viridia's soul weaver. Her music didn't merely entertain, it stabilized the city's floating islands through harmonic resonance. Silas arrived as a street urchin with preternatural pitch. Lycera saw herself in him, the hunger, the genius. She adopted him, taught him the secrets of auralist energy, how emotions could be woven into sound waves to calm storms or strengthen Levistone. They were maestro and apprentice, mother and son, until Silas craved more. He began experimenting with discordance, forbidden sonic frequencies that amplified fear or rage. Emotion is energy, Lycera, he'd argue. Why limit ourselves to calm? She forbade it, unaware he'd secretly weaponized his violin during border skirmishes, earning military admirers. The betrayal unfolded at the Grand Ascendance Gala. As Lycera conducted the Viridian Symphony's finale, a movement harnessing collective hope to reinforce the city's faltering foundations, Silas triggered a hidden resonator. Dissonant shrieks ripped through the concert hall. Levistone platforms cracked. In the chaos, Silas played a flawless, stolen variation of her unreleased final movement. As guards seized Lycera, Silas displayed original manuscripts bearing his signature. "She stole my life's work," he declared, tears glistening. "Even tried to sabotage Viridia for the Sunderlands." Security feeds edited, forged letters, and witnesses, bought or threatened, sealed her fate. Exile wasn't enough. Silas ensured her punishment was poetic. Imprisonment in the shattered choir, caverns where chaotic resonance from collapsing Levistone veins caused permanent auditory hallucinations. "May your own genius hunt you," he spat as the sonic dampening collar locked. The shattered choir was madness given sound. Voices that weren't there screamed. Beautiful melodies twisted into nails on glass. Lycera's gift became her torture. Yet amidst the chaos, she discovered a terrible truth. The choir's dissonance had patterns, fractured harmonies, controlled discord. She learned to distinguish hallucination from residual auralist energy imprinted on the crystals. Using shards of resonant levy crystal, she crafted crude instruments, a viola from a stalactite, pipes from hollow bones. She didn't fight the noise, she orchestrated it. Years blurred. She mapped the choir's sonic geography, finding quiet zones where pure emotion, usually terror or despair, resonated strongest. She learned to capture these echoes in crystal amplifiers. Her masterpiece wouldn't be a symphony of hope, but a concerto of curated anguish. Silas, now Grand Maestro Thorne, ruled Viridia with sound. His discordant guard used sonic weapons. His harmony edicts silenced dissent. The floating city gleamed, but its people moved like marionettes, jumpy and hollow-eyed. Lysara's escape came when Silas, desperate to stabilize a crumbling sector, recklessly mined the choir's edge. A cave-in breached her prison. She emerged not as Lysara, but Lyra, a deafened relic singer trading eerie choir crystals in undercity markets. Through disillusioned musicians and oppressed sound techs, she gathered her arsenal. The echo crystals, storing specific emotions, a child's terror during a discordant raid, a widow's grief. Resonant signatures, Silas's unique sonic fingerprint stolen from his old conservatory podium. Silas's secret? He couldn't truly create. His genius relied on stolen fragments subtly reworked. The Eclipse Sonata premiere would be his apex, and her stage. Silas would conduct in the Crystal Eyrie, Viridia's highest hall, projecting his magnum opus across the city. Lysara's revenge required 3 movements. 1. The Whisper Campaign. Using modified public address crystals, Lysara broadcast subliminal harmonies woven from captured despair into background music citywide. Unease spiked. Fights erupted over discordant whispers only the instigators heard. Silas dismissed it as stress. 2. Instrument corruption. Infiltrating the Eyrie, Lysara replaced the great Aurelus crystal atop the conductor's podium with her own, a perfect replica imbued with the shattered choir's sonic ghosts. She treated instrument bows with resin holding resonant signatures of Silas's victims. 3. The Duet of Ruin. Lysara knew Silas's vanity. He'd conduct the Eclipse Sonata personally. Using a stolen key frequency, she hijacked the sound system. As he raised his baton, her Viridian symphony flooded the hall, the true version, radiant and profound. The audience gasped, recognizing its stolen beauty. Silas froze, face draining of blood. "A cheap trick! Hackers!" he roared. Lysara stepped from the shadows, her scarred face illuminated by the podium's light, her choir-forged violin at her neck. "You called this your masterpiece, Silas." Her voice, amplified, echoed across Viridia. "Prove it! Duet with me!" Panic flashed in his eyes. He couldn't refuse without admitting guilt. As the opening bars of the Viridian symphony swelled again, Lysara began to play. Her music was luminous, complex, alive. Silas fumbled, trying to mimic her, but his counter-melodies felt hollow, derivative. Then Lysara shifted, weaving in captured sonic echoes, the widow's sob, the child's whimper. She forced Silas's baton to respond, his orchestra amplifying the discordance beneath the beauty. The podium crystal activated, projecting not music, but memories. Silas altering Lysara's manuscripts, bribing witnesses, the cruel smirk as her color locked. The audience saw. The city saw. Silas screamed, not in anger, but in visceral terror, as the sonic ghost he'd created in the shattered choir, now amplified and focused by Lysara, surged through the podium and into him. The dissonance he'd weaponized turned inward. He clawed at his ears, hearing phantom accusations, feeling the despair he'd inflicted. His baton clattered. Lysara played the Viridian Symphony's true finale, a cleansing harmony meant to heal. As the last note hung in the air, Silas was a broken figure, babbling to phantoms, his mind shattered by the very discordance he'd mastered. Lysara lowered her violin. The floating islands, stabilized by the symphony's pure resonance, glowed steadily. Justice resonated in the silence. Yet as she looked at Silas, writhing on the floor, haunted by invisible choirs, the triumph tasted like dust. The music in her soul was forever scarred by the choir's dissonance. She'd saved Viridia and reclaimed her legacy, but the cost was her art's innocence. Leaving the crystal baton on the podium, she walked into the dawn, not towards acclaim, but towards the silent wastes beyond the city's edge. Her vengeance was a perfect, devastating chord that left only silence in its wake. The music was over. Only the echoes remained.